100% of Stardew Valley. Every single achievement. You may well know of perfection in Stardew, maybe even this achievement for siding with Joja, but even completing those 2 paths doesn't cover them all. I've still got 6 remaining achievements to pick up, and each of them is a tall order. Buckle in for the final chapter of this expedition, and find out with me exactly what it takes to get every single achievement in the valley. Getting perfection had run a little into overtime, so the journey to get the final achievements began on day 416, with Abigail admitting she eats rocks. Communication is key, after all. I decided I'd tackle well-read first, since I was only missing 1 book. But it's this one, which is acquired as a rare random drop from mystery boxes. And I'd traded most of those away already. Oh boy. For this one, I seemingly needed to get 3 galaxy souls forged on my sword. Good thing I'd found a second one in cheese mines. As for polyculture, I only need to focus these crops, as these are the only ones I hadn't shipped 15 of yet. After buying exactsies of seeds for that, I had Clint pop what boxes I had on hand. Give me a book. Give me a book. Book? Oh boy. I started setting up my greenhouse to grow those crops. No! Then I spent 3 Stardew hours searching for my hoe, because it had been almost 5 months since I'd played this save, and I had no idea where anything was. For some reason, I had hid it from myself in this nearly invisible chest. Yeah, that sounds about right. During the search, I emptied out my fish ponds. I'm using meta-knowledge from a different time. Oh my God. I'm using meta-knowledge from a different time. Oh my God. The roe from these legendary fish were supposedly superb, even better than what I'd seen in another life, so I tossed them in to see how these would work out. Once I had this all honed, deluxe speed growed, and planted, with my specific remaining seed needs, I started looking into this achievement, requiring me to achieve dad status. This, however, was going to be a problem. Apparently, Abigail's got a 5% chance of asking me if I want a kid per night, once I install this crib back in place, and then that kid takes 14 days to be born, and 56 more days to grow up into a toddler before Abby starts the 5% chance of asking me about having one again. Oh boy. Oh boy. I started adding a few other renovations after getting that crib, but some had stuff in the way, clearly because my interior design was just too amazing for Robin to handle. And I bought this wood from Robin so I could also pay for this upgrade. Robin called me generous for this, but I'm pretty sure this was just Robin robbing me again. I also re-began the journey of giving stuff to Abigail every day, because I thought maybe maxing the new 14 hearts would help with the doing the kid having stuff. I took this quest from Chi to start working on being able to buy that last galaxy soul I'd need, and headed to the volcano to forge in the second soul. Hi. Oh, what? You received... Huh? It's a hat, and it looks like the developer's logo. Is this rare? No idea. I forged that second soul into the blade, grabbed this thing from Chi, and went home to rearrange for upcoming renovations. Alright, now you know the remaining targets. Let's go get them. I bought a lot of wheat flour the next day, thanks to a helpful comment about using this to just make bread for the cooking Chi quest. It was a loss of G, but that's the price for such convenient Chi gems. 1,686 bread ought to do it. Cool, so we have this now. We should put it there, because I don't know what it does. Then I remembered something. I could have just done it here. I forgot. I literally have this thing that I farmed out teeth for. I took care of those remaining house renovations, took the time to refill most of my kegs in case I needed even more money, and snagged my advanced iridium fishing rod. My best options for mystery boxes were supposedly fishing and raccoon quests, so I made some treasure chest finding focused tackle for the rod, gathered up my greenhouse mini shipping bins, and set myself up an operation to fish for glory once more. And this is about to be my life. Outside of having children, I sold my extras like this, and found exactly 1 golden mystery box on day 417. Abigail, proposition me. Do I have to make it to bed? Henceforth, I decided to make sure I slept in the bed, in case that was a requirement for Abby popping the crucial question. In the interest of that, I moved the bed to this cubby here. Oh, a prismatic short. So that's what that does. I harvested my ancient bounty, you know, in case I need money, and checked out my new roe. Whoa! Crimson rowfish doesn't... Crimson fish. Legend and crimson rowfish are clearly the creme de la creme. I'll remember that. This makes me want to do a playthrough that's about fishing. I queued up my old news lava eel row and tossed these new players in to see how they'd perform. I spent the rest of the day fishing for boxes, featuring a fishing date with my wife, and reeled in 2 more golden mystery boxes. I picked up my daily prismatic shard the next morning and handed Abigail this tea I'd fished up to bring us to 14 hearts. The Spirits Eve festival meant town wasn't an option, so I spent the rest of the day fishing for boxes, netting a dino egg, another tea, and another box here. During a break, I ran into a cutscene. What? Ow. Abigail happened to show up and took action. Abigail! Is this a 14-heart cutscene? Is that what I'm having happen? I recovered after a bit, but the experience weighed heavily on her. I gave her reassurance, which seemed to help her process it. You maybe shouldn't go with me in the mines. Is that a grave? Abigail took a life to save mine. I'll never forget that. Yeah, let's hold off on the mines dates for now, Abby. The sentiment there is so sweet. I'm just thinking to myself like, man, you know, I've got mixed feelings here. I definitely want somebody that can like scrap, you know, help take care of me just as much as I take care of them. I just feel like I probably could have handled that. Like I feel like I could probably take one of those, you know what I mean? I feel like I was probably good. In the end, I couldn't decide. I can't tell if this is a bruised ego or if this is just me kind of going. And to be honest, I still haven't decided. Tell me in the comments how you feel about that one. Anyway, I took that break to make more magnet bait and then went back to fish more. I'm like happy and upset at the same time, and I don't know what to do with this. What do I do with my emotions? I went to the festival that night, found Abigail staring hungrily at these things, which definitely wasn't concerning at all. Have you ever fought any of these monsters before? Girl, have you? Interestingly, the maze had been made much bigger this year, with more than one secret pathway to contend with. In the end, I earned a prize ticket instead of a golden pumpkin. Nifty. Despite today's events, Abigail didn't ask me about children for yet another night. Another cutscene happened where Pam and Penny got this new house, but I decided to remain anonymous, which ended up to be seemingly the right move. They probably stayed anonymous so we wouldn't have to feel obligated to them. Whoever you are truly pure angel. Well, I wouldn't want to go that far. After that heartwarming affair, I decided to test my karma with my 4 golden mystery boxes. Yes! That is a really big deal. Well read? Check. I also realized that I'd previously compared multiple Crimson Fish and Son of a Crimson Fish row with 1 Legend row. One is way more valuable. No matter, we got 5 achievements left, baby. I tested my luck at where 2 of those achievements would come from, Journey of the Prairie King. This mini-game is essentially a retro shoot-'em-up. Quick rundown. There are various power-ups dropped by enemies to make you better at getting rid of enemies or evading them. You can hold one of those items at a time to use at any time. Any additional items are immediately used upon acquisition. Item effects can stack, like rapid fire and shotgun here, so there seem to be some tactics to consider with this. The enemies sometimes drop coins instead, which contribute to a running bank you can use to buy upgrades between certain levels as you progress. And all that's great, but there's no health. If you get hit, you just die. You do get multiple lives, but we'll come back to that. The real problem? I was bad. Genuine skill issue type of stuff. But besides getting good at this thing, there really wasn't much to do at the moment besides sleep. So I set off to fix said skill issue, which ended up being a tall order, as I regularly confused my directional keys and my shooting keys. After much struggle, I went ahead and slept for the next day, yet Abigail still wasn't down for family time. The amaranth arrived at the beginning of winter, and she offered this quest again, so I bought a bunch more wheat flour and made a lot more bread. Once I'd sold all that, I went back to struggling at Prairie King. I eventually googled tips and strats because, lord, I needed everything I could get. Apparently, the minigame autosaves every time you clear a level, so if you complete a level, you can then sleep in Stardew and continue the next day. If it doesn't go well, you reset the day and try again. I hadn't reset a single day in this playthrough up to now, but I decided this was gonna have to be the exception, because for this achievement, I needed to beat the game. And for this hidden achievement, I had to beat the game without ever dying. Yeah. Thanks to some really awesome item drop RNG, I squeezed out the first of 13 levels without ever getting hit, and left the saloon to lock that one in. Abby didn't ask about a child again, but I got those chi gems for selling bread. The next day, I saw how crazy the value of Legend Row is, bought this Galaxy Soul from Chi, and walked up to my mini forge this time. Boom. Pow!
Yes! Infinite power!
And now I have the Infinity Blade. I decided to throw another enchantment on there to hopefully get 2.
Bug killer. Oh, bug killer again.
Guess I still don't really know how this works. The artichoke finished up that morning as well, and once I'd sold practically the whole greenhouse, I went back to continue my journey, where I tried a revolutionary strat of literally not cornering myself constantly, and managed to beat the second level without getting hit. I uncertainly bought the cheapest thing, these boots, which improved my movement speed. The yams were ready the next day, which I sold, but then I got hit in Prairie King. So after much contemplation,
yeah, okay. All right.
The save scumming began. So, these yams were ready, which I sold, and I put away my tools, because I realized nothing left for me would require tools. I continued my journey, but then I got hit. These yams were ready, and I put away my tools, because I don't actually need these anymore, it seems. I continued my prairie journey, but then... Oh! These yams were ready, and I put away my tools, because I continued my journey where I learned the yams were ready for the tools.
I'm gonna stop doing these things before I go to the saloon. I'm gonna do them all when I get back from the time that I succeed.
Good idea, me. 3 attempts later, I locked in another win and went home, where these yams were ready. I also decided to put my tools away, because I'd had a realization. Did you know?
I think I can sell everything, right? I'm selling everything.
Sound familiar? I sold basically everything I had, since I really only needed to sleep and play Prairie King to get the last achievements. And when I slept on day 423...
Polyculture, that's another achievement off the list. Look at all this money.
I continued my journey on the morrow and cleared this fortress-like level on my first try. I purchased the ammo, a damage upgrade. I tried my best to woo Abigail.
You want to come to bed? 7:20 in the morning. Feels like a good time to make children.
Today's prairieing was my first boss battle. Fortunately, he was relatively predictable, and I'd seen him once before long ago. So after playing really careful, I completed the final level of stage 1. Another day done.
Abigail, come to bed with me. It's 7:40 in the morning.
Yeah, that didn't work. Stage 2, level 1. The 6th overall level was grassy, with new, faster, and healthier enemies. The speed and damage buffs I'd gotten countered that well, and I cleared this level in one try too, where I was able to purchase a fire rate upgrade. Having tier 1 of all the upgrades served me well, and I cleared level 7 with surprising ease. I wonder if this will continue to be a trend. Day 428 was the Festival of Ice, so I couldn't get into the saloon. Level 8 took a few concerted tries, but with some awesome RNG and item combinations, I scraped by. But I didn't have enough coins for any of the upgrades. Hopefully that doesn't come back to haunt me. I'd moved these items to grab in the mornings, and fought what was essentially the same boss with less cover available. Or so I thought.
His firing pattern has changed.
This didn't really change my strategy much, and I ended up vanquishing the second boss on my first try too.
Alright, stage 2 done.
But then came stage 3. Those demon bats, fast, and 2 hits to remove. Those mummies, 3 hits to remove. Oh boy. Not having been able to buy any upgrades was looking like a serious problem, especially when things like this can happen. After a solid 10 plus minutes of resetting, some excellent RNG, and a very close call on the right side, I cleared level 10 with an extra rapid fire item in my pocket and purchased the second tier fire rate upgrade.
How do you feel about children?
The next day,
well, that fire rate increase is very obvious.
Comboed with rapid fire, it was ridiculous. RNG handed me 10 coins right here, and by the very skin of my poncho, I cleared level 11 on my first go.
That was really good RNG with the items, no doubt. Let me not pretend like that was entirely skill. There was some item awesomeness there.
That luck did not extend to the bedroom, nor did it extend to level 12. This level was brutal. All the blessed RNG I'd received in the previous level was completely dried up. Part of this issue was my item I'd managed to bring from level 11. It was an item that seemed to prevent item drops from enemies when used, so I couldn't wombo combo my way to success when things got bad. And when I'd finally get a combo going, the mummies would essentially guard the items. In the end, it took me a whopping 24 tries, over nearly an hour, to complete, thanks to some nice combos finally dropping back to back to back. I grabbed the only upgrade I could afford, Speed Tier 2, in preparation for the final boss.
Abigail, sleep time. Have some RNG with me tonight. Nothing.
Remember how the other 2 bosses had been methodical and easy? Meet Fector.
This pure heart will keep me alive. Oh, I got shot immediately. What happened?
Yep, he just does that. What a guy. Also, there's 0 cover, and he just does things like this too. Further, please direct your attention to the variable speeds of his bullets, like that one. And as if that wasn't enough, he sometimes just spawns minions. Lovely.
Huh?
This invisible first bullet thing happened a lot, until I learned to just move from the spawn point before the battle started. About 30 minutes into Fector shenanigans, the descent into madness began.
Just slips an extra one in there that goes like 1.5 times the speed.
The madness paid off, though, as I soon realized there was a thin angle I could hit his wide hitbox without him hitting mine. With this cheeky realization, and the grit to keep trying for an entire hour, despite devastating near misses, I'm proud to present this run, where I locked in, shut up, and did this.
Oh my god, I got him. Oh my god. Oh man, I was just about to get hit by a bullet too. Oh man.
2 more achievements, check. Only 1 to go.
What an exhilarating way to end 100% of Stardew Valley is I need to go to sleep a bunch of times.
And so that's what I did. I got this portable Prairie King system now that I don't need it, thanks so much, and began Depression Nap the sequel, Turbo Mode. Abigail redecorated at some points, and I occasionally took a break to feed the animals, with an extended break on Spring 1 to get this last power. Vincent taught me how to remove bugs from spring onions. Was I selling them with bugs in them before? Well, at least this is complete now.
Oh man, 5% is real, dude. Oh man. Oh boy. Can I... It's... Okay, it's gonna be not 500 days. It's gonna be titled 500 days, but it's not gonna be 500 days. And so no one in the valley ever heard from the farmer. Yes, we should! Yes, we should.
14 days later, this thing showed up overnight. Terrifying.
How do you do fathering? How do I be a daddy? How does daddying work? How do I do that? I don't feel like I've earned the daddy card. How do I dadify my... Oh.
It was just kind of sleeping, so I didn't know what to do. I did start giving Abigail a prismatic shard every day to keep our hearts up, and the child awoke on day 486.
Hello, James. Oh, what? I'm okay. Does that make... Okay. That feels very dad. That feels like a very dad thing to do. Throw the baby in the air.
I moved the bed up by the crib, along with the shard maker, so I could gather up gifts and play with my baby in the 10 Stardew minutes a day I was awake.
I play with him every day, Abigail. Come on. Is that not enough for you? I don't change any diapers. I don't feed him. I don't clothe him, I don't take him to school, but I play with him every day. And if that's not enough for you, when do you get out of the Oh, the child is not in the crib. Where is the child?
He's on the floor now. They grow up so fast. Look, he crawls too. Overnight, this thing showed up.
What are you? What are you?
So on day 501, I got a golden egg. Nice. Let's incubate it. It hatched into a sparkling golden chick named Masco on day 512.
Having a child has really given me severe, crippling narcolepsy. And depression, and insomnia, and everything else. All of it. All of the things that would keep me in bed for longer than usual, I have them. Every single one. I have all of them.
I tried to sort through my overflowing mailbox on Fall 23, but I couldn't get through them all. The next day, the child was finally a toddler, which meant Abigail now once again had a 5% chance of asking me about child making. Great. Lucky for me, baby number 1 and winter's chill was enough for renewed baby fever. And almost exactly 1 year after the quest for 2 children began, Jessica was born.
Yes! Get married and have 2 kids.
And just like that,
I already gave James and Jessica their chocolate cereal. The baby is 1 day old. The baby is 1 day old. Chocolate cereal?
well, I can't complain, can I? I've never fed him once. But that isn't part of 100%ing Stardew Valley, which I can finally say is complete. So it's time to light the candle. What a journey it has been. Thank you for being a part of it. It was so special to me, and I hope you got a kick out of it too. I've got more epic and funny journeys under construction, some in Stardew, some in other awesome games. So if you enjoyed, subscribe, like the video, and once you've done that, check out this video next. Aren't you wondering how I got the JoJo achievement?